And I think everybody needs to work on the personal brand, because if we talk about how intelligent you are, maybe you have, I don't know, a master's or PhD. These days, the world, yeah, just be authentic. I think that's really important. I think it's so cliche. People say authenticity, but in my work, I find authenticity is the hardest to get from people. Do not copy anybody else. You can emulate. Emulate is, trying to find something good that you could lead to success.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Youth Mental University's episode again. I'm grateful to have you guys back here. Thank you for the questions, the likes, the loves, the comments, all of our social media platforms. That is YouTube, LinkedIn. We're actually trying to see how we can be better on X as well, but just trying to navigate all these social media platforms is quite hectic, but we'll make it. Also, Facebook. Thank you all for so much love. Right now, we actually seeing our audience is actually going to the US side again. My US people, thank you for coming through. So actually next week we're having a conversation with one of our guys from US. And yeah, thank you so much for the love and support. And today we also have an awesome guest from Kuala Lumpur. I think why this is just international business. I think we're just thriving on international business, and I'm loving it. So please keep sending the love, and we'll make this great together. I want to introduce our sponsors, Brand Rico Amor. They deal with plant-based coconut yogurt made in Watamu. For those who are lactose intolerant, this is your plug actually to go and get the yogurt. For those who don't consume dairy, we got a solution for you from Rico Amor. Also, our brand partner called Allo.co. They deal with women fashion. Actually, for these ladies who love luxury brands, this is your way to go. And also, we have a school in Kenya called Rofina School that we support with donations and charity for the children living in the slum areas. So we're gonna put a picture so that you guys, for those who love giving, to go and support this school because we believe giving is receiving. Now to the exciting part where I'll be waiting for. Huh. My guest, my best friend. I think she'll be my best friend very soon because she really motivates me with her post on social media. She's really encouraging, even how she speaks. I wish I could just have a quarter of accent, you know? I really be delighted. Welcome, Anjalika, to Youth Mentors and VCU.
Hi, Shaq. Thanks for having me.
How is it today?
I'm good. I'm good. It's been a busy day, but I'm glad I'm here on time for you.
Yeah, yeah. We don't go to the nitty gritties of time because you know what has happened before we make this happen, right?
Yes,
So today is a good day.
it is good day, definitely.
Yeah. So maybe you can just introduce yourself and tell our guests what you do.
Sure. My name is Anjalika Kamis Gunnulfsen, a long name. I'm originally from Singapore, but I have been away from Singapore for the last 17 years. I've lived in Korea, Norway, and now Kuala Lumpur. So now I'm toggling between Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, and Norway. And we've been here for the last 10 years. I've got two boys. I am a lifestyle editor. I'm also a branding strategist, personal branding strategist. And also I own my own magazine title, Fablux, where I run as the editor-in-chief.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. I saw one of the big, she's called Lila White, right?
Yes, Layla White. Yeah.
She was on your magazine as well.
Yes, that's right. She is an amazing personality. So I
Mm,
interviewed her one time. That was, I think, around 2019, where I was editor for another magazine, Marketing in Asia, if I may name it. So I interviewed her there. And then, but this woman just stick to my mind, how resilient and amazing she is. So I interviewed her again in my magazine, Fablux. We need a
mm,
lot of powerful women energy, so that's why I invited her again to be interviewed.
mm, mm.
Mm.
So what does it take for someone to be in your magazine?
What does it take? Okay, my magazine, Fablux, is a lifestyle platform. So normally I would angle it towards lifestyle, but someone with very exciting background, who's making changes, who's exciting to the eyes as well, who's who makes a difference to people's lives, really.
Mm. Amazing, amazing. There's also a program that I used to see you doing with a Nigerian guy, and you are
Yep.
dropping gems. I was like, yo, you need to do this like every day on personal branding. Maybe you can tell us about that as well.
Sure. First things first, you do your homework
I do,
really well.
I do.
Yeah. So I was invited by I don't remember the name though. Impact Nigeria or something like that. Yeah. So I
Yes,
was
yes.
invited to do videos for his audience to talk about personal branding, because personal branding is rather new. If you think about it, only for the last 5, 6 years, it's been a thing. Before that, nobody talks about it. So he wants to tap on that and make sure people understand what personal branding is all about, because it is important in your day-to-day dealings at work or in school. Is really important. Even socially, it is important. So that was a great experience working with him.
Yeah, those gems is what I'm here today for, because yo, I think people should be dedicating 30 minutes to 1 hour to be listening to you, if they just want to get their personal brand out there, because you're very, very deep and passionate about this, and your words, your advices are really, really impactful. So good job for that.
Thank you,
So
Shek. I really appreciate it.
on to the first question. How did you discover your passion for personal branding, and what inspired you actually to pursue it as a career?
Okay. To be honest, I stumbled upon personal branding when I was 18. And this was a long time ago, right? I was interning in Singapore right after school. I was interning. I keep on hearing people saying one trait about me, which I didn't know at that time. So one person said, and then the next person said, then the third person said, I decided like, okay, hey, I need to sit down and think about this, because this is amazing, something I don't even realize about myself. What is this? So I decided to sit down and think, what is it about me that people has been saying? What is it? So then from then on, I realized it is personal branding, but not knowing the word is personal branding. What I know is that this thing sells me. So from being an intern, I was taken in as a full-time staff. Actually, my dream, my thing was to work there for a couple of months and then continue my studies. But then I was given these opportunities to run big events with that resort company. And I was only 18. So I decided to stay on and utilize that thing that has been said about me. So this is like an innate authenticity, because I didn't know it, right? So personal branding is all about authenticity. So it's been said to me without me ever realizing. So it is authentic. So I decided to use that to help me with my career going forward. And then fast forward later, many years later, here I am, decided to do this. So I started personal branding. I started first as image consultant, but image consultant is what you portray on the outside. Personal branding is something you bring from the inside. So I decided to put one and one together and put it out there for people.
Mm,
I hope
mm,
this answers your
mm.
question. Yeah, check.
Yeah, it does, it does. So what are some of the key strategies that you use to help individuals to tap into their authentic selves?
Right. I do a lot of talking, as in like I do a lot of questioning, because many people I feel they don't know what to do is one thing, but there's also something which is stuck in them, which needs to be tapped out. So this talking helps a lot to unravel what's bothering them. And then from there on, and then we can put out all the processes, what they need to do. Every client is different. Every client come to me for a different situation. Some come to me because of their work. Some wants to find life partner and their personal branding is not there yet, so they want to work on that. Some these days I've seen a lot of parents sending their kids to me. Like these kids we are talking about 16, 17, where they are going out to work very soon, or they're going to higher tertiary education. So their parents want them to work on their personal brand. So I see a lot of those cases these days, which I think is great. Start young, which is amazing.
Okay, okay, yeah. When I get my first child, I'll send send them over to you because I don't want them to go on this normal educational system that is put by the world. So I don't want them to have unique educational system.
Yeah,
So
yeah, times have changed.
for sure. So in today's digital age, what are the biggest challenges that people face when building a personal brand, and how do you help them to overcome these challenges?
Okay. I think that's a great question. I think these days is what we see on social media is what's hindering people because everybody wants to be similar. Everybody wants to be the same people they see on social media, not thinking that you and me, we both have different strengths, different things to offer to the world. So I think that's the most hindering thing. People should put aside, quieten down, do not listen to so much social media. You can watch it, but don't have to take it with you because that's one thing which is to me is like such a distraction. People are trying to emulate this celebrity, that influencer. They forget about what they have to offer. So that's the one thing. Yeah. So the first thing I would tell my clients how to work around this is to watch it, but do not follow it. You have to find your own voice, find some quiet spaces in your day away from gadgets, and ask yourself, what do you want? What trait about you that you like best? All these questions, all these answers do not come automatically. It will come gradually. You just need to sit in with yourself and ask honest questions, what you like, what turns you off, what makes you happy, things like this. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's a good strategy. So let's speak about Fab Looks. All right. Did I say it right?
Fablux.
Fab Lux.
Fablux. It's luxury, Fablux. Yeah.
Okay. So what inspired you to start it, and how has it evolved since inception?
Okay, so I started Fablux during pandemic. So as I mentioned earlier, I was an editor for a marketing magazine. And then after a while, I decided to take my branding work. I decided to do more on my branding work, but then I couldn't do that and working for another person at the same time. So it's a bit difficult since I have family as well. So I was thinking, I come from a journalistic background. I've been doing it forever. So I do not want to give that up too and just take in personal branding. So I was sitting down and my husband told me, take 2 weeks off, away from everything, think about it. Maybe you can start something on your own. But you know how starting a magazine is not an easy thing, right? So, and there's also doubts coming out. Can I do it or can't I do it? But after the 2 weeks, I realized this is what I want to do. And also during the 2 weeks, I did some research as well. So decided to take some partners in, but it didn't work. So I decided to run it on my own with my fabulous assistants scattered all over the world to run this Fablux. So that's how it began. And it just comes up from this passion of writing and my as I said, my journalistic background. And it's how many years now? 4 years, I think, during pandemic. So 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Maybe you can tell us what are the challenges you see running a magazine.
Challenges. Thinking of content, which is not easy, especially when you're running the whole thing yourself. Running the whole thing as the person thinking about what to do, the next step and strategies and all that. Of course, I've got all these people running the rest of the things, which is amazing. But thinking about what to put out there and reaching out to the right people. And because my magazine is not run on advertising at this moment, so it's just passion based. It's just a passion project. So that's another thing to think about. But the challenges, I think, is more on the content situation. As I said, we are not running on advertising, so that's okay, right? So I don't have to worry about that. But it's just the content situation. What makes my reader wanting to read more and stay with us more? Yeah.
Okay. So as the lifestyle editor of expat living in Malaysia, what are some trends you've noticed at the expat lifestyle and community in Malaysia?
Oh, okay. This is great. Because being an expat before was completely different than the last 10 years. Before, when you're an expat, normally it's the husband who's been selected to go overseas to work, the wife stay at home, have coffee mornings, be lady of leisure, taking care of the kids, CCAs and things like that. But now the trend is that many of these trailing spouse, as I call them, women traveling to another country with their husband, they are also having their own jobs, having their own career. So I think which is amazing, because many of these women these days are educated, intelligent, and have been contributing to their society for the longest time. And to come into a new country and just forget about what they've done is quite a waste. So by them working, they're contributing. And I think which is amazing. I love that. Yeah, so I think that's one trend that I've seen a lot these days amongst expatriates everywhere. All the countries that I've lived in, it's been like that.
Okay. Do you believe in something called balance in life?
Yes, definitely. Definitely balance. You cannot have it all, but there's always balance.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Because we have
Okay, wait. Are you sure what?
because I'm trying to figure out, is there anything like balance in life? Because you feel like you are juggling so many things at the same time. And I'm like, is there something like, as a CEO or a founder, just coming down and taking things in? And then I'm like, okay, let me be okay, and then I'll handle it later. Is there anything like that? Because for me, I believe it's just, hey, let's move, let's go, you know? If there's a free time, it comes with maybe a burnout. That's where you're like, okay, let me calm down. If it's not that, maybe when I'm sleeping, that's what I call balance time. That's my
Right.
resting time. So now
Resting
I'm
time.
like, is there anything like balance,
Yeah, I think you have to create that balance. You see, the thing is that as a mother, as a wife, as also someone who works, there's a lot of hats that I'm wearing, right? So I have to create that. So I think in today's world, the most beautiful part of it is that we are able to do that, because these days, for me, I don't have to be in the office from 9 to 5, for example. So my working hours is very flexible. So I cannot talk on the behalf of women who are working full-time jobs where they have to go to the office and be there. For me, my time is flexible. So the balance I created myself. Yeah, does that answer
Yeah, yeah.
your
So
question? Yeah.
yeah. So let's think about how you balance these roles. Yeah. So how do you balance the roles of personal branding strategist, found on online publication, and also a lifestyle editor? How do you balance it all?
Yeah. So I do a lot of segmentation of my time. So expat expat living is something that I work for somebody. So that's a necessity for me to be present every day for that. So I create a segment where that's not compromisable. I have to be there no matter what. For my personal branding, well, it depends on what time, what clients timing I have. And my clients are everywhere. So I create that time myself, right? So if I feel I'm busy in the day, I could schedule the meetup, the coaching session at night, or, like that. For my magazine, that I have dedicated like 3 hours a day to work on that. So, and some days I don't even have to be there because some of the things are very, because I've got writers and all that. So some of them are just like well oiled. I've got these materials, I've got the editorial team to check it, and then I've got someone to put it in there. I just have to oversee things.
Mm.
So that's how I do it. Yeah.
So you really believe in, should I say, giving out roles more than you being there hands-on? Because I've seen CEOs who they want to be the marketer, they want to be the writer, they want to be the editor just because of insecurity. They don't trust their team.
Yeah. Yeah. I can be controlling. So over the
Mm.
years, I've learned to let go, because I believe if I want to be like how I was, then nothing gets done. Then I'm just going to be stuck. So I need to let go, meditate a lot, and think about ways I could disseminate all these things, delegate all these things to people. Yeah, it's not easy in the beginning, but it's still a learning curve for me.
So did you say meditate or delegate? And because for me, I'm a meditator.
You meditate?
A lot. Like if I don't, I might run mad. I think that's one thing of mine that I maybe also call balance. But
Yes.
also inside like 15 minutes, I wanna go. I wanna go. I can't stay here for long.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what they say, even 5 minutes of meditation a day is good enough, right? So
Mhm.
I meditate. I normally incorporate it with my prayer. So I meditate while praying, or sometimes if I have some time, I'll just sit on the couch and stare at my cat and and just be free in the mind.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, there's different ways to it. So let's speak about now life as a Singaporean in Malaysia.
Mhm.
What has your experience been in Kuala Lumpur as a Singaporean, and how has it shaped your personal and professional journey?
Okay. So I used to come to Malaysia a lot as a child because Singapore is just next to Malaysia. So I used to come here a lot, and at one point I was even visualizing to live here. So I think this is my visualization manifested into itself, in a
Yep.
way. Yeah. So Singapore and Malaysia, we are very similar. In fact, Singapore and Malaysia, we used to be one country, but in 1965 we separated. So Singapore becomes a thing of its own and Malaysia becomes a country of its own. So before this, I was in Europe. So you can imagine being in Europe for so long, coming back to Malaysia feels like I'm home. One thing is only 45 minutes away from my home, Singapore. Another thing, many of the influences, the food, the clothing, the temperature, the weather, everything is similar. So for me, that transition is great because I'm almost home, right? How it has shaped me as an individual was your next question.
Yeah, yeah. Even
Yes,
professionally.
professionally, yeah. Singapore and Malaysia, even though many things are similar, but there are also many things we are different in terms of working culture, how we run our businesses. There's difference that way. So I don't know if you know about Singapore, we are fast, yeah. Everything is fast and going really at a speed of light, basically. So when I come here, I need to learn how to slow down, and also change my mindset, because either way, it's fast or slow. It doesn't mean you're bad or anything. It's just how the country, how the people run things. So I just need to do that. And I think it helps me personally as well with my personality. I'm always like someone who's like fast, wanting to do fast. But this helped me to calm down and just smell the flowers a little bit and take time with things.
Mm.
That's
Okay.
one thing I've noticed. Yeah.
So let's speak about family and work-life balance, because this balance thing, I have to get it today.
Okay, let's talk.
Yeah, being a mother of two, yeah, how do you manage to balance your career, family life, and also your personal interests?
Hmm. Okay, my kids are 13 and 14, so they are teenagers now. People say when your kids are a certain age, it's going to be easier. No, I cannot. I don't say that. I wouldn't say that. At every age, there are different challenges. So now they're teenagers, we have to look at other things as well, right? So my priority have always been my family. I've already set it straight to my clients, to everybody, that my family is my first priority. If something should happen, my family will receive the first priority from me, basically. So my working, when they're in school, that's my working time. So sometimes when there's holidays and all that, again, because I'm working remotely, I can do it anywhere. So we can go to Bali, for example, and they could be out doing, we can be out doing things while I'm working. So I keep balance like that because I'm fortunate enough to have this kind of job where I can work regardless of where I am, right? So yeah, so to answer that question, priority has always been my family. And yeah, what was the next question again, Jack? Can you just
Yeah, just managing your even your personal interests between you, family, work, what you
mm,
love, how you
mm,
balance it all. You have
yeah.
hobbies as well, right?
What, sorry, hobbies? Yes, yes, I do. So I do yoga. In fact, I was a yoga trainer too before. So I still do that. Sometimes I join people, I join classes or groups, and sometimes I do it, most times I do it at home on my own. Um, I do a lot of hosting at home. We host a lot of people, friends, we have dinner parties and all that. And we always like it in our home. And I do that. So all these are done like, like weekends, evenings. We do travel a lot, again, with such a flexible job where I can work remotely. I can be wherever I am. Yeah. So basically that's what I do. I do my morning workouts, the meditation with a prayer. So yeah, basically those are the things that I enjoy doing. I read a lot. Reading always come in between when I'm traveling in a taxi or flying somewhere, or at night before bed, catch up on the reading. And now I've discovered audiobooks. So I'm really happy. So when I run, like I just put it in. So that's another book covered.
Yeah, actually, I've been asking so many people, does reading have much difference while listening to audio? Is the impact the same? Is it better to just read or listen to an audio?
What do you think?
Um, because of my schedule, definitely reading is good, but my schedule doesn't allow that much of reading. Also, oftentimes I read through books very fast and I don't find the time to just go and buy another physical book because I think 80% of my life I'm just on air flying different places. So just having that time to go and buy a physical book is hard. So when it comes to downloading books on my phone, it kind of messes up with my eye. So for the past 3 weeks, I've been away from my phone because the optician was telling me I'm in a flight, it's dark, I put my laptop on, it affects my eye. I
Oh,
don't usually go outside to get the sun. Let's say like because he was saying the best time to go see the sun is between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. But oftentimes I'm in different countries. I even don't know what time it is, so I don't get that normal sun. So for me, reading is hard. I just have to listen to audiobooks. Now
mm,
it gets to a point where I'm like, am I getting the same impact? Because while I'm listening, my mind could be somewhere else looking at different things. But when I'm reading, my mind is literally on the book. So I've
right.
been asking my mentors, am I doing the right thing? Am I growing? Because reading has to come with growth. So I'm like, am I growing? Am I wasting my time? I don't know.
Okay. Interesting. Because I hear different opinions about audiobook. Even now, my son, he's learning in his English class, he's doing Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. He's reading
Mhm.
that book now, which I think I've read that amazing book. And so he finds it difficult to find time to read. So he's doing audio. So he was asking me, what do you think? Because he knows I do a lot of audiobooks. On the other hand, I find if a novel, I like to read it. If it's like something self-help, I like listening to it. For some reasons, when it's self-help, my brain captures it more. Then novel, I like to read and lie down and look at the book and smell the book and feel it. So I romanticize it if it's a novel. But if it's like self-help, it's more like practical things. I rather listen to it.
Mm.
Mm,
Okay. I
yeah,
think it's all about growth.
yeah.
Because even
Again,
if you listen to it, there's something new you're learning, right?
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Mm.
And biography, I love listening to audiobook because
Mhm.
especially when the writer reads the book, then you feel like it's really the writer talking to you, you know?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really like that. Yeah.
Mm. So is it
Mm.
like someone whispering to your ear knowledge? Is it so?
Yeah, in a way, like a personal contact there.
Mm. Okay,
Mm.
okay, makes sense. So what would you advise women or mothers juggling between careers, parenting, and adapting to a new life in a new country?
What do I tell them?
Mm.
To a new country. Okay, first things first. No matter how you feel, because sometimes when you move to a new country, it can be very daunting. It's scary. You're scared, don't know what to do, where to find friends. Just dress up and go and find somebody. Because I think finding that support system of friends or someone you can talk to is really important. Your family is there, of course, but you also need someone else, especially the same gender group, to talk and to just to belong to a community in that new place. Because once you meet somebody, the somebody's going to introduce you. When you have kids, I think it's easier. You go to school, international schools, international community, so that's easier. But yeah, so just dress up and go out and do your thing.
Mm.
Mm,
Mm. Okay. Yeah,
mm.
communities actually important. I wish people can believe in the power of communities because people usually feel like communities is a thing for people who have a weakness in something or people who need counselors. But community is a real important thing, just for
Absolutely.
growth and also just be able to be insane. Keeping it to yourself at times can be draining. That's a good advice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So what future projects or inspirations do you have for Fablux and how do you envision its impact on your audience?
For Fablux, I've always said
Fablux.
yeah, it's a matter of accent, right? We call Fablux.
Yeah.
Fablux kind of exotic too, so that's
Yeah.
fine. For Fablux, I've always said that I want to create a print version of it. Hopefully, maybe like quarterly or something. I don't know, but I would love for that to happen. But I think that requires a lot of planning and bringing somebody in to see if it's possible. Um, yeah, just to keep going and growing. I love the people that I meet while doing Fablux. All these individuals, all these personalities, which I think teaches me a lot as well, in my journey as a business person, as a human. So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. And see if I could do the print in this year,
Mhm.
maybe. Mm.
Mhm. So maybe my last question will be, what's one key piece of advice you offer someone beginning their personal branding journey?
Okay. Do not copy anybody else. You can emulate. Emulate is, trying to find something good that you could lead to success. That's good, but never copy because the person is different from you. We are all different, right? So tap on your authentic self. Again, sit down and find what is really you. Sometimes with all this noise, we don't know who we are, right? We want to be this person one day, we want to be that person one day, but that's not us. We need to sit down and see who are you? What do you plan to do in your life? Going forward, whatever your goal is. And yeah, just be authentic. I think that's really important. I think it's so cliche. People say authenticity, but in my work, I find authenticity is the hardest to get from people.
Mm. Mm.
Mm.
Okay. And maybe okay, my final question. What is the importance of maybe just young entrepreneurs, to go and find mentors who are actually speaking about personal branding? Because for maybe the young entrepreneurs might feel like accessing someone who's a personal brand strategist is
Mhm.
a big maybe of a cost, or maybe they might not have that budget. How would you advise them that this is important, just to grow their own personal brands?
Sure. Understand, especially for people just starting out, to pay like a consultant or strategist is quite a bit. But like what you said, finding mentors, normally mentors are someone you just meet once or twice or whenever the person once a month, like that, right? So find a mentor who can talk to you. In fact, I've been approached by a couple of people. So I'm mentoring a couple of people, youngsters. And don't be afraid, just reach out because you never know. No matter how popular the person is or successful the person is, the person might want to give back. So just reach out. LinkedIn is the best place to look for those kind of people. And I think everybody needs to work on the personal brand because if we talk about how intelligent you are, maybe you have, I don't know, a master's or PhD. These days, the world are filled with such people already. So what makes you stand out? Your personal brand is the thing that makes you stand out. And
Mm.
personal brand is something that you make the person feel, the person that you meet, how they feel about you. And that's not easy. That comes with a lot of self reflection, experience to a certain way as well, and tapping from people who knows all these things, right? Who knows where to go, what to do. So do not feel shy or intimidated to reach out. I think you should reach out. Reach out in LinkedIn. I think there are amazing people in there.
Amazing people such as yourself.
Oh, thank you, dear sir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Angelica. I've really learned a lot. This has been very smooth and sweet. I feel like it's short, but I feel like
Yeah.
I think we should just segment it like 2 hours,
Oh,
But I
bring
know
it on.
YouTube, I know YouTube people can burn out. So I think we'll do a part 2 soon, where now we're going deep, deep, deep into the information. I think this one we put it as a master class where people have to subscribe and pay so that they learn the
Oh,
gems.
yeah, the businessman shop talking now. Great.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. I think the next time when I come to Malaysia, I have to hit you up, because last time I only had male friends, and male friends, I think some of them can be boring. They don't make you to open your eyes to the culture itself, because I felt
Mm.
like there was a really, really deep culture in Malaysia, especially when it comes to the food and also just the different people were there. I remember I was in the restaurant, and I don't know, there's a Chinese lady who really struck my eyes, and I was like, I felt like I'd gotten a wife in Malaysia.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
but apparently she was only working in the morning shift, and when I spoke to her, she told me we'll meet the following day, and she'll serve me again. But apparently the following day I'd gone somewhere else, so I didn't find her. So I think next time when I come, you help me navigate so that I get to explore all the different cultures that are there, the Indians, the Chinese, so I get to
Yeah.
learn everything.
Yes, yes. Malaysia is a perfect place for that. Mm.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I want to mention my sponsors again. Brand More for the best plant-based yogurt, and coconut oil, which is unrefined. The best charcoal briquettes for factories and people who love barbecues. They have smokeless briquettes. So for those ones who um, love eco-friendly products, More is for you. Ladies, Valentine is coming. Tell your man, or even I know my independent ladies, go grab some cocktail dresses, the evening dresses, party dresses, beachwear. Co got everything. So you don't wanna miss out on this. Also for those who believe in charity, we have a school that is called Rufina School. Go out, support, sponsor the children there. The sponsor and the tuition fee is not quite expensive. I know you guys can afford it, and we can pay even 5 to 10 kids to go to school for a year. So I believe my community, we're entrepreneurs, and we usually believe in giving. So I believe in 1 year's time, that school will be transformed 360 degrees. So thank you so much, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing you again on the next episode. Bye bye, Zu.
Bye.
All right.